Hi, my name is Micah and I'm one of the pilots here at the Forgotten Heroes Foundation. Today I will talk to you about the Pipistrel Velis Electro, a completely electric aircraft that we most recently received. Alright, in order to describe the Velis Electro today, I got two heroes that are going to help me out.
I'm Anna. And I'm Claire.
And Anna and Claire have been around airplanes for quite some time. However, the Velis Electro is the first electric plane that they've seen and the first one I've ever flown. So, regardless of whether it's an electric airplane or a gas-powered or traditional, any other jet-powered airplane, there are four forces that are always acting on an airplane in flight. Heroes, can you tell me the four forces on the aircraft?
Weight, lift, thrust, drag.
Weight, lift, thrust, drag. So Claire, tell me about the first force that acts on the aircraft.
The first force was weight.
So let's just talk about the weight for a second. This aircraft is max gross weight of 600 kilograms or 1,320 pounds or so. So with that, to be able to carry two people and actually fly, we had to make the overall aircraft pretty lightweight out of lightweight composite strong materials. From nose to tail, there's some component that's going to be manufactured with composites, carbon fiber composites, giving it a lightweight but strong airframe. The second force that we talked about.
The second force we talked about was lift.
Lift, exactly. So what on the aircraft produces lift?
The wings.
Yep, the wings. Do you remember, I mentioned it once before, how long the wingspan is on this aircraft?
35 feet from wingtip to wingtip.
Exactly, 35 feet from wingtip to wingtip. That's also called a wingspan. Now this aircraft, weighing only 1,300 pounds or less, with a wingspan of 35 feet, has a pretty good glide ratio. Now the glide ratio means that for every 1,000 feet or so that we lose, how far we will go horizontally. So in this particular case, this aircraft has a glide ratio of 15:1, meaning that for every 1,000 feet that I descend in altitude, I will go 15,000 feet forward, or in other words, 2.5 miles for every 1,000 feet that we lose. All right, so we talked about the 15:1 glide ratio. We talked about the wingspan. Another thing about this particular aircraft is it has something called flaperons. Now, I'll have Claire help me out over here on this particular aircraft. Normally, aircraft have something called ailerons. Claire, can you move the stick in this aircraft for me? So the ailerons are the one part of the trailing edge, keep moving it, one part of the trailing edge that moves, that helps the airplane turn left and right. The Pipistrel Electro, if you look, it's not just, and Anna's moving the stick over there, it's not just, keep moving it, it's not just the one part or the outer edge of it, which would be the aileron. It's the entire edge, trailing edge of the airplane that moves, and that is called flaperons. Flaperons because not only is it an aileron, but Anna, lower the flaps, Anna, push it. There you go, do it again, one more time. As you can see, the flaps, the entire trailing edge also moved. Keep moving the stick left and right now. So as you can see, that's what it's called a flaperon, because it's not only is it flaps, but they also serve as an aileron. So Claire, can you tell me about the next force?
Thrust.
All right, so what makes thrust for an airplane?
The propeller.
It has the propeller. What drives the propeller?
The motor.
The motor, exactly. So the motor in the Pipistrel Electro is an electric motor, completely electric. So what we have are two batteries. One in the front. Can you point to that one in the front?
This one right here.
And then we have another one behind in the back.
Right here.
Yep. There's 2 batteries that drives this completely electric airplane. And also, right behind the propeller is the actual motor that those 2 batteries drive. So this particular airplane has a maximum of 65 kilowatts of power being produced, which is just under 90 horsepower. The last force we have to talk about?
The last force we have to talk about is drag.
Now we can minimize that force of drag by making the airplane really smooth. So if you look at the plane, the entire fuselage, look at it. Do you see many screws and bolts or anything?
No, not really.
Right here, there's also this tape. This tape minimizes drag by making the airflow smooth along these joints. Some of the performance numbers that we didn't really talk about earlier. Stalls at about 47 knots when you have the flaperons, the flaps down, and we have 54 knots with it up. Maneuvering airspeed is 100 knots, and then maximum, never to exceed airspeed is 108. So it's not super fast, but it's fun fly. Speaking of that, let's go take it for a flight.
Amber traffic, Sierra 4, Romeo, departing runway 28 to the west, Sam Roads. That's still a pretty cool looking airplane.
All right, so we took off out of Hampton Roads Executive. I'm passing through about 1,000 feet right now, and I've been climbing best rate of 75 knots. Yeah, so 75 knots, getting us on up here. We'll go out and do a couple of maneuvers and come back in. We're gonna do a glide profile, see what we get out of this thing. Right now, best glide 70, wings level, pointed at the field, 3,000 feet, I'm getting 400 foot per minute rate of descent. Big tower off, I'll lean to the right a little bit.
Cherokee 8003, remember it's clearing 28 at West Ramp, Hampton Roads. Amber traffic, Remo 4 Romeo, and left base runway 24, stop Hampton Roads. And crossway.